By the grace of Allah, by the grace of Allah, even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise and shine, and the sun will rise and shine. By the grace of Allah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyid al-Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen, amma ba'd, fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ladies and brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habib Allah, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiy Allah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nur Allah. Ladies and brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, you are watching Rise and Shine. Alhamdulillah Azza. It is a beautiful, nice, warm, sunny day, ladies and brothers and viewers. And Alhamdulillah Azza. Today we have another topic, another beautiful topic, again related to science. Why? Because mashallah, again we have been blessed with the presence of our respected and honorable Saban Bhai. First I would like to thank him for joining us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly bless him, grant him success and happiness in this world and the akhirah. Jazakallahu khairah Saban Bhai for joining us. Ladies and brothers and viewers, there are many virtues in sending salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He states, "Man salla alayya salatan wahidatan, sallallahu alayhi asharan." The individual who sends one salat upon me, one time durood upon me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall send 10 blessings upon him. "Man salla alayhi asharan." The individual who sends 10 upon me, sallallahu alayhi mi'a, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall send 100 upon him. وَمَنْ صَلَّى عَلَيَّ مِئَةً. The individual who sends 100 upon me, sallallahu alayhi alfa, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall send 1,000 upon him. But my dear brothers and viewers, it does not end there. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam states, وَمَنْ صَلَّى عَلَيَّ أَلْفًا. The individual who sends durood upon me 1,000 times, Allahu Akbar, تَزَاحَمَتْ كَتِفَهُ كَتِفِي عَلَى بَابِ الْجَنَّةِ. Then his shoulder shall be in line with my shoulder, shall be touching with my shoulder in the gates of Jannah. My dear brothers and viewers, Allahu Akbar. I think this one hadith itself should suffice for us, my dear brothers. What a blessing it would be to be along roadside Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and entering Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant each and every single one of us this blessing, this opportunity, this chance, inshallah azza, and the ability to recite salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in abundance. But my dear brothers, today what shall we be speaking about? Today is a extremely important topic. Why? Because we require it each and every single day. Yes, my dear brothers, today we shall be speaking about a balanced diet. Now, people understand a balanced diet depending on where you are, which country you are throughout the world. Some people consider eating less a balanced diet. Some people consider eating more, but eating the proper foods, my dear brothers and viewers, to be considered a balanced diet. Today, mashallah, we have Saban Bhai with us. Let's ask him as to what does it mean by a balanced diet.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Shahbaz Bhai, first of all, this beautiful sunny day is here and we are performing in this very interesting silsila Rise and Shine, the virtues of Durud Salam you have narrated. A thought crossed my mind, so I just want to share it with you, that we do trade in this regular world, we do business. This is a trend to earn our livelihood, and this business trend is that we invest when we expect a return. This is profit. So there is no trade in this world that if you invest
the least investment with the most profit is what we
more profit. This is what we are wishing, that least investment and most amount of profit. So there is no trade in this world that you are going to invest 1 rupee and you are getting 30 rupees in return impromptu without any delay.
Allah,
so here you have seen that a person who is doing sins, his eyes, his tongue, his feet, all are, may Allah bless us that we prevent from sins, but it happens, sins are there. Even then a person who is sinful, he is reciting the durood once with his tongue, and Allah Almighty Himself is blessing him 1,000 times, 100 times, 30 times. So this is a very good trade. You can say that you are reciting Durood and you're getting this much in return. And so this should be a practice of every Muslim.
Best investment, isn't it?
This investment is the best. Now come to the topic, that is the balanced diet. See, health is a major concern across the globe. This is a topic which is most important for all the humans, health. Even a person who's a multi-millionaire.
Especially in this day and age.
Especially
nowadays,
several diseases are there.
It's not even just in reference to diseases, but there's this craze now, isn't there?
About, there's a craze.
The gym, about eating healthy. Yeah. You see, subhanAllah, what's happened is, there used to be a time where it would be, well, the luxury would be considered eating meat and, these fast foods, pizzas, burgers, etc. Whereas nowadays, you would find pizzas, burgers, chips, and these fatty foods, fast foods, etc. These unhealthy foods will be much cheaper, and to get a healthy meal, as we call them, a healthy meal, they would be a lot more expensive, although they're much more simpler. What is the reason for this? The reason is it's a craze now, isn't it? We want the protein.
100% you are right. People, they are conscious that they need everything fast. They need fast food, they need fast life, they need fast news. So it's very easy for a person who's working and there's a workload on him. He's just going to any restaurant and he's ordering a pizza, he's ordering a burger.
It's actually cheaper now too.
And it's cheaper
rather than cooking at home, you can just quickly, order some.
And there's the home delivery trend also there. Yeah. They will deliver you at your doorstep. And now there is one other thing. This is brand consciousness, that I have to upload on social media that what brand I'm using or what brand I'm eating. This brand consciousness is
causing a lot of problems.
Ego, and this is causing problems.
Anxiety, depression.
Anxiety, depression. And now, for example, if some person is seeing that his friend has posted the picture that he is eating some very renowned brand food and they have not invited me. They're all there eating food together and they have not invited me.
Do you know the pictures are much larger than this too? For example, many of the time, it might not even be mine, but let's just say there was a car there. There was, an expensive supercar.
Yeah.
And I was to take a picture with the supercar. So a person who has had a really bad day, has had a hard time, he just goes on Facebook and he sees that, oh, wow, look at this guy. He gets everything and we get nothing. And it makes a person depressed. People become anxious, and the fundamental reason for depression, for anxiety, is things like social media, Facebook, etc., medicine, brothers and viewers, because they see other people, that person, whenever they've taken a picture, what do they say? Smile for the picture.
Yeah.
Smile for the picture. Now, when he sees that individual, he thinks, look how happy these lot are. It's only me in the world that's sad.
So sad.
These lot are so happy, and this is what leads to anxiety and depression and so many other things. But that's not our topic. Coming back to fast food.
So now we'll see that it's very easy to get that food, and we are overlooking the harmful effects. See, Shahbaz bhai, now the word health is a very vast word. Yeah. This word is not something that I'm not having any injury here, or I'm not having any wound, so I'm not healthy, or I'm sick, or I'm ill. No, it's a very big definition. The health means that your physical health, this is primarily. Second one is psychological health, mental health, and third one is you are socially fit for the society. These three things will mix up and the word health will be there. That if a person, he is mentally disturbed. Now, if a person is committing suicide, doctors say that 90% of the people in Pakistan who are committing suicide, they were a patient at the time of suicide. So you cannot just imagine what the final symptom was. Suicide is the final symptom of depression. He was suffering from an illness and he was shy to share it.
So is something else leading up to it.
Leading towards that thing. So healthy person means that he is healthy from all aspects. And one of the most important conscious thing which you have said, that only not the disease pattern, but it's a trend and fashion in this world. That in the countries like UK and Europe, the people are doing New Year resolutions. They are at the start of the New Year, they are making resolutions that we have done that thing in the past year and will not repeat these things. We'll go for some new things, landmarks, benchmarks. And the most repeated resolutions which I have studied is about diet. That I'll go to gym, I'll try to be fit, I'll try to eat healthy food.
Because of obesity.
And then I will be free from obesity. I will go for that, and then I will shed these fat fats from my body. So all these things need a conscious
Shed
effort.
these fasces, makes it sound like animals, like a snake. I'm going to shed my skin.
Well, I mean, they say that we are going to get rid from the bad fats in our body, especially the stomach fat, because that the stomach fat is the most dangerous fat, because this fat is leading towards cardiovascular problems, etc., etc.
Most of the illnesses are due to the stomach
fat. Stomach fat is the most injurious, and you must not allow that fat to accumulate. So this is a conscious human effort for a balanced diet. The best thing which you can teach your children is, remember, one research says that a person is habitual, or person gets the habit to eat food from some specific place, outdoors or indoors. This is not something by nature or just by, you can say, the magic wand, that you are habitual of eating food from outdoors and you're always going to restaurants. This is something you develop inside your mind. This is your mindset. And remember, if a person is living in a hostel, or if a person is living in some city other than his native city, just try to think and just try to be in a state of mind that your mother is cooking food for you, and he is taking into consideration each and every step to cook a hygienic meal. But a person who is doing it in restaurant is not going for all these criteria.
You see, because Sabamba, I do not like, for example, a mother. When a mother is preparing the food for the child, she's preparing with affection, somebody she loves, and it's actually been mentioned that when a person is preparing the food, his effects, or that individual, his or her, the effects have an impact on the food. Imagine, for example, your mother should possibly begin by reciting Bismillah.
Allah.
Reciting the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ensuring to bring the most, at the same time as nutritional, healthy, but tasty too, my dear brothers, but as well as that, to make sure it is hygienic. Whereas if a person, it's his job to be doing it, he's doing it all day. He would get tired sometimes, placing his finger up his nose, or, he's itching himself. How often does that individual clean his hands? So hygiene, my dear brothers, the best form of hygiene you can gain is at home.
In the recent past, Shahbaz Bhai, what we have seen, there was some departments from public sector, and they have started inspecting even some big brands of food manufacturing industry.
And there's so many.
And there were so many loopholes. They have sealed the whole restaurant, and they were bound to announce it publicly on general newspapers that don't go for that restaurant. And we were amazed to listen, we were amazed to read that what happened. We have been eating from that restaurant since so long, and that was a brand which was a credible brand for us. But that department, they said that we have found some very unhygienic conditions in the kitchen. What you have said, the cook, they were not observing all the criterias, and now they have set criterias for that. You must wear hat and this and that. So
SubhanAllah, it's brilliant the way you've begun. We're speaking about balanced diet. You didn't go straight into the diet, but you began with cleanliness. Why? Because, and this is hugely important, because cleanliness is the initial role for anything.
Right?
Like we have been ordered, aqim as-salah, to establish our salah. But even before we establish our salah, what must we do? You must wash your hands. فَغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ wash your faces and your arms. وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ and your legs, my dear Islamic brothers, and your feet, my dear Islamic brothers and viewers. So everything begins with purification in Islam.
And
similarly, mashallah, you began with
similarly, balanced diet is having a direct connection with cleanliness. For example, if Shahbaz Bhai, if food is contaminated, if food is rotten and food is very old, and you have not kept it in the frozen environment, all these things. So that contaminated food means that this food is dirty.
I think there's another thing we need to establish, Sabamba, is that a fridge is not a magic box. A lot of people, they think if it was in the fridge, it's fine. At least my brothers, it doesn't always mean that just because it was in the fridge, it was fine.
Everything is in fridge is not fine, because fridge is an artificial way to procure food. The best thing, Shahbaz Bhai, which I want to discuss with our Madani Channel viewers and with you, that prepare food, cook food as much as you want at one time. Just finish it, or if something is left behind, give it to some needy person. Don't just preserve it. This is an artificial media. You are 100% right that if some people I know, in the days of Badi Eid, in the days of the Eid al-Adha, and the people, they just distribute all the meat and they will go for the fresh. So the first key to balanced diet is the fresh diet. Reuse, no reuse, just use it once and just finish it. So now there are different stages of human life, just like kids, adults, elderly people, pregnant ladies. These are the different stages of human life which doctors have fixed for the balanced diet. For example, the requirement is different. Like a child who's in a growing status, that child is having big bones, and this child is having experiences in the life. This child is just gaining weight and gaining height. Now the requirement will be a little bit different. That child will need proteins, calcium. Now one thing
that's why I think it's mentioned that babies consume 7 times more than adults in comparison, or in being proportionate to their weight level, to their pound.
Because they're digesting it, and that whole energy is consumed for the upbringing. Because me and you, we are not gaining height. We are gaining weight, but we are not getting height. The things are the same. But the child is having 3 things at a time: psychological development, physical development, weight gain, each and everything is there. So similar is the case. One thing I want to mention here, that for a child, for an infant who is 6 months old, we must not give him even a single drop of water. That may cause him water intoxication, because the kidneys, they are 5-inch long, 3-inch wide organ present just below the ribs on the back of our body. The kidneys, they are supposed to filter the blood, and an average adult kidney filters blood 40 times a day. And there is a capacity, kidney is having capacity. If you will drink water more than that capacity, that water will bounce back inside your blood, and that blood will be thin, and that will be injurious to health. Just like the marathon runners. The runners, they are running and running and running, and they are drinking water in short intervals and in much quantity. So this thing may create water intoxication, edema of brain will swell, and at the end death is there.
So death also from water intoxication.
Water intoxication. So not even a single drop of water for a child, because a child kidneys will filter half of the quantity of liquid if compared to adults. So a child who's just gaining weight, gaining height, he's just of age, so he needs 2 things. One is protein and one is calcium. Protein is in the best source of protein is meat. Meat is the best source of protein, and the best source of calcium is milk. Now what I want to share is, now
I think you can find a lot of protein in other things also.
But what I've said, that the main thing which children are shy, and the one thing is that if your child is habitual of drinking much and much milk, if you have given him that habit, that always he is having a feeder, or he's having a cup of milk and he's drinking, and he's just filling his stomach with this particular liquid, this is very bad, because milk is not a complete diet. No diet is complete. No diet is complete. We need plenty and variety. This is what I want to share again and again. No diet is complete. We need...
There's a diet that's coming to mind, but even that diet, I think is mentioned about, bee pollen. That all 22 enzymes which we require, everything is found within that. All the nutrients which are required for a balanced diet are found within bee pollen, other than obviously water. But even then, they make the exception of foliage. So, and this is the best balanced diet which is known to man at the moment.
Actually, Shahbaz bhai, this criteria is obviously there. Few diets are also very good and nutritious.
For example, the dates also, the dates are a balanced diet.
Apple, and above all, honey. All the things are there. But with the scientists, they say that plenty and variety, because that all the people, they are not in a position to buy that thing. So, and obviously taste also matters. For example, one criteria is 800 grams fruit and vegetable daily for a young child. This is essential.
800 grams.
800 grams. So this is the standard which I have read in the research, Shahbaz bhai, that. But now children are very shy. They don't go for vegetables. They go for meat. Meat is very good. Vitamin B, iron, and folic acid, all things are present in meat, but excess of everything is bad. Now the standard is 250 grams of meat a day is enough. If you will consume more than 250 grams of meat in a day, that may lead to uric acid or other diseases which are not good for the health. But above all these measurement criteria are not good for some sort of patients. So these criteria are meant for general human beings who are living a healthy life, just like me and you. I'm not suffering from any disease, alhamdulillah. So these criteria are for me, that I will go for 800 grams of fruits and vegetables, 250 grams of meat. And I can use pulses also in the regular moderate quantity. But if a person is suffering from uric acid, he will not eat red meat. He will not go for pulses. He will shift over to other diets. and that diet pattern will be decided by the doctor.
You're saying pulses. What are pulses?
Dale.
Dal. Oh, you mean like lentils?
Lentils.
Right, lentils, right.
Lentils. So this is the duty of your doctor. If you are suffering from any disease, remember each and every disease is having some connection with the diet. Each and every disease. For example, if some diseases are there which are having no direct connection with the diet, even then the diet
indirectly,
your immunity is depending upon that. For example, if a person is suffering from hepatitis C, that disease is having no direct relation with any diet. But if you eat such sort of diet which is boosting your immunity, which is good for your liver, just like fish, just like non-fried items, that will also, because hepatitis C is caused by virus, and virus is having no direct connection with any particular diet. That virus will die after completing its lifespan, and you will be cured, inshallah. But now that particular sentence which you have uttered in previous silsila, what I've noticed, that prevention is better than medicine. Don't go for medicines. Try to maintain a specific diet chart, and there are special doctors and specialists for these.
All the Sunnah foods.
All the Sunnah foods are there, 100%. But again, I will insist, I will share with you, Shabazz bhai, that for example, if some person is suffering from diabetes, then some things like honey and dates, they are rich in sugar. Natural sugar is there, but even then, if you are suffering from acute diabetes, you should abstain from these fruits, because sugar is present in different forms.
Yes, obviously you must always consult your doctor.
Yeah, you must consult your doctor.
Yes, wherever possible, and the best foods are undoubtedly the Sunnah foods, those which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ate. But my dear son, brothers and viewers, there's something to remember, that before you do eat, if you have to recite the dua, what's the dua? Bismillahilladhi la yadurru ma'asmihi. That I begin in His name. Whose name? La yadurru ma'asmihi. That it is such a name, my dear brothers and viewers, where if you were to begin in that name, nothing can harm you. This is the name we begin with. And this is the reason. This is a dua, it's a supplication, and this is what you should recite before eating. Similarly, Hazrat Amira Ahl-Sunnah Damat Barakatum Al-Aliyah, they teach us that whenever you take one morsel of food, then you shouldn't only recite Bismillah, but you should also recite Ya Wajidu. And when you recite Ya Wajidu, then that food shall be turned into nur in your stomach. So my dear brothers, if you are to adopt these Islamic practices, then undoubtedly we would have less. In fact, so much, my dear brothers, is mentioned by Khalid ibn Walid anhu, that he would eat small bowls of poison and he would recite Bismillah, and this would not affect him.
This is the Shabazz power of belief.
Yes, Aqidah.
The power of belief and Aqidah, that Sahabi is reciting, his tongue is reciting this.
Because it's a certainty, they're certain that by reciting his name, it would not affect them. So it's about certainty too, undoubtedly, my dear brothers and viewers, but simply it is a dua, it is a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Begin by reciting the name of Allah, whatever action you do. There's a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that individual who does not recite the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before any action, then the action remains uncompleted.
Similarly, I will add to this thing, Shabazz bhai, that one doctor was sharing with me that each and every food contains different sort of pathogens, microorganisms, viruses, bacteria. These harmful organisms are there. And same food is eaten by me, same food you are also eating. Now, we both have eaten that food, but I'm suffering from gastroenteritis afterwards, something, stomach anomaly, and you are healthy. This is a common practice. The people in a family, they are eating a food on one dastarkhan, and after some are sick and some are good. So this is the thing, that our HCl, the acid present inside our stomach, which is responsible for the digestion, it's a very strong and very concentrated acid. It can dissolve iron pieces also. Now, what we eat, all these things go inside our stomach, and this is, you can say, a special gifted acid to a human, that all the germs, all the pathogens will be killed due to the concentration aspect of that acid. Now, all this will be killed, even then we get sick. Why? Because some bacteria are so strong that they create an outer defensive shell around them, a chitin sort of thing. And they escape and they travel to the small intestine and they create different sort of diseases. So all these mechanism is supervised. And what we have said, that if somebody is going to recite that dua in letter and spirit, with correct accent and pronunciation, and just with certainty, with complete belief and aqidah, then may Allah bless him with health. Now, Shahbaz bhai, I will try to share some very healthy tips with you and with our viewers of Madani Channel.
I need some tips.
You need also some tips. We all need some tips because food is the major activity which we perform. Now, first thing is, when you are going to stick with this concept of balanced diet, try to be steadfast, try to be rectitude, try to remain certain, try to be not influenced by any other thing. Try to just do what you have learned from your specialist doctor. Now, first
Sometimes
thing is,
it's hard when you have, you know, that fizzy drink, that carbonated drink in front of you, you have pieces in front of you. How are you going to do this?
It's very difficult, but it's entirely up to you. You must see that if you are going to purchase a horse, that horse costs 3 million rupees.
A horse?
A horse. A
Right.
horse. That's an animal, and people use the horse for different purposes. And they have purchased a horse costing 3 million rupees.
Right.
Now, this is a very costly horse, and obviously its creed, its caste, its all things will be superior. Now, that person who have incurred 3 million rupees on a horse, he will never give that horse contaminated food. He will never allow that horse to remain sleepless. He will do each and everything to keep that horse fit. This is something natural. Now just remember and just compare that horse with your own body. That horse is costing 3 million. Now if somebody is approaching you and say that I will give you 30 lakh rupees, 3 million rupees, just give me your eyes, just give me a vision, will you trade that? Never, never. It means that you cost billions and billions and billions.
Yes.
So
even for a billion, you probably wouldn't.
A billion is nothing. You are a masterpiece.
Both eyes, I don't think anybody would.
So if it means that you must take care of this asset also. What we are doing, we are not sleeping well. What we are doing, we are going for fizzy drinks just to fill that thing, this particular utensil, this particular stomach. Why we are not caring what we are eating? Each and everything is having a direct impact. Each and everything is having a direct impact. Something is slow, something is long term. For example, if person is smoking and he's seeing that that person is an old man and he has been smoking since 25 years and nothing has happened to him. No, this is not the case. When you will be on the emergency bed in an hospital, doctor will firstly ask, is he suffering from hepatitis? Is he a smoker? Now he will start his medication.
Well, whenever you go to the GP, or you first fill in a sheet, the question is always there. Are you a smoker?
Are you a smoker? Are you a smoker? Smoking is not having an immediate impact on your lungs or your things.
Long term, it does.
But long term, it will destroy your thing. You know that pulmonary cancer was a rare disease. Now this in cancers in male, this is the biggest cause of death.
I think 100,000 a year, I think, in the UK.
Because pulmonary disease, this is caused by tobacco consumption, alcohol, and this smoking habit. So now I will come to the point that some tips for you, for all of us, which we should take into consideration. Oil. Now, cooking oil, the requirement of cooking oil daily is 20 grams daily, 4 tablespoons of oil daily. This should be the consumption pattern of a human. Now, in children, that may increase to 5 tablespoons. Now, see, in a year, the people in this area where we are sitting and giving this program, 15 kilos of oil we consume per person in a year. But in UK,
50, that's 50. 15,
15 kilo of oil we consume in a year, a single individual. But in the countries like UK and Europe, they consume mostly 4 to 5 kilos.
I think because you eat oily foods, don't you?
Very much oily foods. And we are habitual of it. We eat many pakoras sort of thing, fried foods during Ramadan. And we love to...
Sadly, although it's actually a lot worse during Ramadan, isn't it? To be eating these foods, especially.
This is worse. And we think that pouring and dipping all these food inside this fried culture and just using more oil will make the food
especially
delicious.
on an empty stomach.
On empty stomach, it is a havoc for us. So this will choke our veins and arteries, and this will result in a sudden MI. Myocardial infarction means heart attack. The plaque will continue to deposit in the arteries and all the vessels. And second is alleviate or decrease the consumption of salt and sugar. In UK, what I've learned that they have introduced new taxes. And now they are going to introduce warning on sugar products, just like the warning on cigarette packets.
Right.
Now warning on sugar
I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, they are going to implement taxes, and they think that obesity and several other major diseases are due to this overuse of salt and sugar.
Salt
and
and
just
sugar.
what I want
And
to
there's a famous saying, isn't there, that everything is actually linked to salt in food. For example, they say, "An-nahwu fil kalami kal milhi fil ta'am." That nahw, grammar, etymology within syntax,
in the language.
Arabic, any language, syntax of a language is like salt in food. Anything, whatever it is always compared to salt in food.
Because this is all one very famous cook in Shahbazi Lahore. He told me that nothing is so magic in food. But you say that food is delicious, that food is not so delicious.
Because there's not enough salt in it.
Salt and spices. He says all the game is of salt and spices because meat, rice, loaf, they all taste same across the globe. What is the thing? Salt and spices. But what I want to emphasize is that research says that salt and sugar, which is the daily requirement of a human being, is already present in our food. Just like if a person is suffering from diabetes,
Right.
type B diabetes,
It is naturally present. There's
naturally
enough of
present,
it.
naturally present, no added sugar and salt.
And fruits, look, you love fruits. Why do you love fruits? They're nice and sweet,
Nice and sweet.
nice, brilliant, sweet.
in
apple.
grapes, what I've gone through in the research, in grapes, you will have a cusp of sugar, which is more than the sugar in fizzy drinks. In grapes, more
grapes.
sugar than fizzy drinks.
But these are natural sugars.
But
so they're
that is the
beneficial.
natural sugar, that is the artificial sugar. That is the sucrose, which is injurious to your health. That natural sugar is injurious for patients, not for individual human beings. So, one thing, that no added sugar or salt. No added sugar. Just eat what is...
I think it'll be difficult for a lot of people out there. No added sugar or salt. We place sugar in mainly tea and these sort of things. There's a lot of sugar. But I think in the United Kingdom, we are decreasing sugar. A lot of people suffering from diabetes.
What I have seen, people are doing maximum because child obesity is a major problem.
I think what it relates to is education.
As education.
It's education,
and people, they love to drink things which are full of sugar.
What I've understood is, for example, in the United Kingdom, generally you call some countries are known as backward countries. Basically, they're many years behind. So we've learnt and experienced from, for example, we had obesity a long time ago. A lot of people have died from obesity, many deaths. Now, I'm not just talking about the UK, but many of the Western countries, etc. There's been a lot of deaths, so we've seen the ramifications of such products. And this is the reason why many people have
shifting
now,
the trend.
they're shifting.
The
and the problem is that you've not had that yet in these countries. It's not, well, now you are getting many people suffering from cancer and these problems, but you're getting it later. And when more people realize the results, for consuming such foods, then they too will
they will see the results, and they are seeing it now.
But the best lesson is to learn from somebody else.
Who have gone through. For example, if you want to reach any destination, then approach the person who have been to that destination. He knows the way. He knows the obstacles.
Exactly.
He knows each and everything, which is...
If you're going to go from, for example, here within Islamabad to Karachi, and you were to go alone, you wouldn't go Madison Dozen Views without asking people. Even though there's directions, but without asking people, without seeking information, you wouldn't travel so far. As you mentioned, the best way is to speak to somebody who knows. So again, this comes back to information.
Bright future, if you want a bright future, you should follow bright lines. If you're not going to follow bright roads, you will never go to bright future. If you are following dark lanes, you will end up at dark destination. Simple as that. Now, one more important thing is brisk walking. Walking, sedentary lifestyle and walking. These two are separate things, Shahbaz bhai. People, they are...
So you're talking about walking?
Yes, walking.
Right.
Walking. We are sitting and sitting and sitting. In Western countries, I came to know with the research that people are having standing desks. They say that even if you can't walk, just stand, because standing is better than sitting.
I don't like the way you're making it seem as if, the West is so much better. It's not at all. There's so many office jobs there, and it's starting here now to... there's a lot of sitting there, a lot of back problems, people facing, wrist problems with the typing. There's so many problems.
There are problems. But this should be not. If we are going to follow these balanced diet criteria, just like I've said, I will share with you that 5 days a week, in a week, 5 days a week, 20 minutes daily, brisk walking. Brisk walking means that you're walking with the speed and you're having perspiration, you are sweating, and that speed is, you're not running, you are walking, but with a speed.
Anything as long as it gets your heart beating.
Yeah, heartbeat
faster,
a little faster, and that is resulting in sweating, and that 20 minutes walk will manage the things more. But it's not like that you will say that in Rise and Shine, I've learned that 20 minutes brisk walking is enough. Now you're eating more and more junk food, and then you're going
that means
that
I can eat some chocolate cakes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll walk 20 minutes.
And I will digest it. No, this is not good. For example, if somebody is
they're going to quote you, Subhan Bhai. They're going to say, Subhan Bhai said it, that's it.
I'm not saying it. I'm taking back my words and I'm revising it in the sense that if somebody is suffering from sore throat, if somebody is suffering from pharyngitis, and that person is having very tough antibiotics like coamoxiclav or antihistamine, and along with the medicines, that person is taking a bath, and with wet body, that person is standing in front of the refrigerator and is saying that I'm not cured. Then this is not my fault, or neither the fault of doctor. This is your fault. You must have taken preventive measures along with the drugs. So this is that you must do each and everything to make yourself fit. And now the third thing is proper rest. Children need rest for 10 to 11 hours, and me and you need rest for 6 to 7 hours. Oversleeping is bad, and not sleeping for adequate sleepiness is also bad. Both the things are bad. Fluctuation should not be there. 6 to 7 hours is the maximum time span, but that time span of rest must be complete rest.
It must be deep sleep. There's a difference between normal sleep and deep sleep.
Deep sleep must not be. There is a term known as polyphasic sleep. Polyphasic sleep means that in Ramadan, like in Pakistan, so the sleep pattern was like you were not taking sleep all the night. Then you were having some things as sahri, or some people who have to go to office, they used to take 3 to 4 hours sleep at night, then sahri, prayer, then again sleep, then going to work, then coming back, then again sleep at afternoon. This is known as polyphasic sleep. And research says that this polyphasic sleep is okay. This is good for your health, because at times you are forced to do that. Your task is like this, that you're going, taking a nap for 1 hour, then again going to work on site. Polyphasic sleep is okay, but that should be 6 to 7 hours sleep. And then keep on smiling. Research says without any reason, keep on smiling. If there is no reason, keep on smiling. This will make you fit, and this is a part of balanced diet.
It's positivity, isn't it, my dear brothers and viewers? Alhamdulillah, this is something which even Amir al-Sunnah tells us, you know, that you should always, and it's the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's mentioned that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never laughed, but rather tabassama, he would always smile, my dear brothers. Whenever the companions would mention him, they would describe the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam beautifully, and they would also describe his smile, my dear brothers and viewers, that, you know, he would always smile, and his smile was the most beautiful of smiles. Allah Akbar. So smiling itself is the Sunnah of Rasulullah.
May we be blessed with that smile on the Day of Judgment.
Allahumma ameen, inshallah. And also in our graves, inshallah.
In our graves,
inshallah. Because even within our grave, inshallah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam shall come, my dear brothers and viewers. Inshallah, we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the wasila, the medium of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even within the grave. Subhan Bhai, we don't have very long left. I'll give you another minute or so. What would you like to leave the viewers with?
The best advice which all the people are giving for the balanced diet is quit alcoholic beverages. No research you can quote in medical field which is saying that alcoholic beverages are major threat in all sorts of diseases. Now I have researched 600 experts from those countries where alcohol is the major form of diet. These researchers are saying that not a single level, not a single drop of alcohol is good. No safe limit to alcohol. So please...
Alcohol is something general which is, my brothers and viewers, haram anyway. Kullu muskirin haram. Every intoxication is haram, and it is something which leads to the fire of hell. Qaliluha wa kathiruha. A small amount or a large amount. Nevertheless, my brothers, whatever it may be, every type of, you mentioned alcohol, every type of intoxication, my brothers, is a haram. It is not allowed whatsoever. It's completely unlawful. Sorry, is that what we're ending with?
Yes, bilkul, you are 100%. It is unlawful in Islam. And what Islam is all about, we have discussed it earlier, Shahbaz Bhai, that everything which is natural, this is Islam. We are 100% in accordance and aligned with the human body.
SubhanAllah, it is a fitrah, my brothers and viewers. Once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was offered on the night of Mi'raj milk or alcohol. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he chose the milk, my brothers, a source of replenishment a source of nutrition. My dear brothers and viewers, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't only choose for himself, but he chose for his ummah. Jazakallah khairah, subhanAllah, mashallah, you've given us so much time. My dear brothers and viewers, you're watching Rise and Shine. Continue to send durood, salawat upon the greatest of mankind. That's all for now. Inshallah Azzawajal, we shall be back soon, as usual, same time on Rise and Shine. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam.
By the grace of Allah, by the grace of Allah, even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise and shine, and the sun will rise